Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballet Rain. If I asked you to think of a ballet piece that involves 4 dancers, requires complete technical precision, and is absolutely ruthless about timing and synchronicity, the easy answer to this would be the 4 Little Swans from Swan Lake, obviously.
We did do a commentary on that.
But what if I told you that there is a whole other piece that fits all of these criteria and yet still somehow does not receive the love that it deserves?
This is, of course, the dance of the 4 Garçons from the ballet Raymonda, and today we're finally giving it its spotlight and its due respect.
We are going to walk you through this piece play by play and explain to you all the beauty and the challenges of this difficult piece, and by the end of this video, hopefully, ideally, you will love it as much as we do.
Feel free to like the video if you're excited, swipe over and hype it as well, and let's get going.
Here come the boys.
Here come the boys. Hello, boys.
As a disclaimer, this is an all-male piece, judging by the name, 4 Garçons, meaning the 4 boys.
The 4 boys.
And we, being female, have not ever performed this, aside from like fooling around in the studio after class and attempting the steps.
Eden can do it pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie.
Male dancers, we're not gonna understand the full complexities of this experience of dancing 4 Garçons, but you'll have to bear with us.
Yeah, this commentary is going to be purely from the female point of view.
The female/consumer standpoint.
Consumer standpoint of this variation, because firstly, it's just really impressive and we appreciate it. And also, we're just ballet nerds and we like to pick our part pieces whether or not we have danced them ourselves. So, that's the disclaimer.
Yep. For context, this video is also kind of redemption for Glazunov, because a couple videos ago, we kind of shaded him on a couple of his variations from Raymonda.
It wasn't any hate to Glazunov himself, but we did confess. You can go watch the video after that some of the pieces in Raymonda are not our favorite, but I mean, this one is fantastic. Choreography is by Marius Penapa, of course.
Very classical.
And the company we're going to be showing today is the Bolshoi Ballet, because they do a fantastic job with this.
Our fantastic dancers that we're watching today are Danila Kramzin, Klim Efimov, Alexei Pyutintsev, and Dmitry Smilevsky, and they do a fantastic job.
They do a great job.
Now, the dance of the 4 Garçons,
or the 4 Page Boys,
or the 4 Page Boys, or the 4 Cavaliers, appears in Act 3 of Raymonda, which is the wedding scene. So Raymonda and her knight in shining armor.
Knight in shining armor.
They are getting married, and there's a bunch of variations and divertissements to celebrate their wedding.
Exactly.
And the 4 Page Boys are one of them. A divertissement is basically a little small number within the grand scope of the ballet, and it's not meant to continue the plot or the story of the ballet.
No.
And it's just to show off the dancers so you can enjoy some technique or some dancers doing what they do.
In between the plot points.
Yeah, exactly. Am I wrong to say that it's quite rare that you'll see a lot of male corps de ballet work?
I think it is quite rare
where they
don't
have
just the male dancers.
Exactly.
Like, you have a lot of corps de ballet
partners.
With the men and the women. It's very rare when you actually just see the men dancing. The amount of time that you see just the boys versus just the girls, it's quite imbalanced. So this is one of the rare ones.
And we just happen to have 4 amazing gentlemen here to dance for us today. Here they come.
Fantastic.
Very classical Penapa, all white.
All white.
The white tights ballets, you know it's Penapa, classical era ballet.
Exactly. If you see them with the little pointed black shoes, it's a Bournonville ballet. If you see them in all white tights and white shoes, it's probably a Penapa ballet.
Yeah. I will say, as a dancer myself, and enjoying just watching this from a visual standpoint, this is one of the most graceful little passages in the entire ballet rep.
It's very elegant.
And I think it's to do with the flow. I've actually thought about this a lot. I was wondering why it's such
so satisfying.
A graceful, elegant little passage.
Yeah.
And it's the sweepiness of it, you know, like you have the cavriole here, and you have this big arc into that chug. It's a nice sweep there, and then you have the ensemble, which is another sweep. So everything deals with like these big sort of swoopy kind of flow to it, and then you go straight to the ensemble, entrecroise straight up and down. This is a lot of what makes choreography beautiful to watch. You watch like the energy and the lines and the cadence and the flow of it. Which just makes it satisfying to watch.
This is a really slow tempo. Like the music is really slow, and that's kind of a flex. You know, like if you can get, I mean, for a solo it's whatever, but if you have so much faith in your 4 boys to be able to dance that slow and jump that high and keep up, then like that, that's a huge flex.
And especially in this passage here.
Oof.
It's so easy to underestimate how high these gentlemen are jumping right now. Because the music is so even, like da 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 da. It's not particularly strained. It's not particularly grandiose, and they make it look very easy.
This particular little jeté going around the back is so hard to perform, especially slow, because you have like very little momentum, I think, going into it. You have this one leg that pushes you, and you have the brush of the working leg, and you have to have that leg go in the full arch, and the whole body has to kind of follow this trajectory going around.
It's very exacting. You need a lot more power than the music implies.
And really, really good. And of course, we'll do it 3 times.
Here we go, into our beautiful
Next
four
passage.
corners. I love this passage, the first one.
Yeah.
And this is so exacting when it comes to spacing.
It is,
Because you're in these such clean positions. It's cabriole, and you all four have to be...
Yeah.
All their legs have to be at the same time, same angle of the body, same positioning, like in the air, all in perfect lines. And then straight to that arabesque here, legs have to be...
picture moment.
Picture. Like, they have to be... The guys that are behind have to be
line yourself up
exactly
perfectly.
lined up with the guy in the front. We mentioned this, like, I think one of our first ballet commentaries ever. We want those kind of angles, like the facets of a gemstone. You see?
Exactly.
Like, they're in that rectangle shape, but they're all on, like, diagonals.
Like,
It's supposed to make those beautiful shapes.
You see it a lot in like royalty scenes, I think, in ballet.
In village scenes, you'll see a lot of lines. You'll see a lot of arcs, like circles.
But in royalty scenes, it's like a lot
Like
more
angles,
which totally makes sense because Raymonda is kind of set in like a medieval palace. I remember watching the gentleman get coached in this particular passage, and they always say you have to lift your face on all of these PK arabesques because what it does, especially when they all do it at the same time, immediately, like when you look down, like they kind of make a shadow, but when you lift your face, the light goes there. Bing. It's the slightest little emphasis, I think.
They're regal boys, and so we need to see them.
We need to see them shine like a diamond. He does a really good job lifting his face. This young gentleman here.
He does.
He lifts his chin. Boom! There it is, and it's really evident.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Fifth and Susu. Land of fifth. Oh,
land in fifth.
This is like the smallest thing, but it takes so much precision.
To
arabesque.
Squeeze.
Fifth Susu and demi point, and then just boom, land the heels.
Squeeze the heels down, turn out without any fidgeting.
Yeah, no like.
no.
Which I would do, by the way. Boom. Clean.
Yeah, exactly. And this is such a traditional gesture to the other person.
Yes.
It traces way back to like the very beginning of ballet, before ballet was even ballet as we know it.
As a small note, I've never danced this, but I imagine that at this point they all know what's coming.
Yeah.
So they all have this moment of like, good luck, bro.
The next part coming up only gets harder.
Yes, this is like their one moment to make eye contact, feel that camaraderie. We're all in this together.
We hype each other up.
Yep.
And let's go. This is kind of the rest step, I suppose you can say, of the number.
Into one nice, immaculate line.
2, 3.
Here we go. Double tour, double tour, double tour. Entrecôte, 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 Sue, Sue. And they keep going. And this timing, you guys, has to be so precise. This man here, he has to plie on the and.
Yes.
Double tour land one.
On 1.
He has to plie on the 1, double tour land 2.
Exactly.
He has to plie on the 2, double tour land 3, and he has to plie on the 3, double tour land 4.
Which is really different when you're learning how to dance like on the music. You know, you kind of think when you hear the music, then you react to it. But in reality, for something like this, you can't
wait for the music.
You can't wait for the music. You have to anticipate it just a little bit, because if you want to land on 1, you actually have to plie and prep and actually start the jump a little before that.
Yeah, because you have to budget in that time for air time, those 2 rotations, and then you land exactly on the beat.
Exactly on the beat. And they are so timely with this, which I really appreciate.
It's insane, you guys. And it's slow. It's not like it's fast.
No, which is really hard. It means you have to jump higher. 1.
Dun, 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 dun. Straight into, okay, imagine being this guy on the end. You have to land straight from your double tour and go straight into
your entrecôte. That's so hard, that transition.
Shout out to the boy on the end. this last bit especially, when they go and cease and cease and cease, double tour back into the ceases.
Oh my
goodness. It's so hard because this music it's very slow. This particular recording is really slow.
One is really slow.
But also when it's like a 2/4, like a really even 1/2, your time spent in the air is almost equal to the time that you spent in the plie.
Exactly.
And down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Whereas if it were like a 3/4, say something like Albrecht's Entrelacies, down, up, up, down, up, up, down. So you have a little less time for that plie. So you can have a stronger, faster plie. In my opinion, it's easier to launch yourself.
What happens in pieces like this where the ratio between the plie and the airtime itself is more or less equal, it's harder because you feel like you lose the momentum when the plie is a little bit more slowed down.
Yeah. You can't just come down to the bottom of the plie and just sit there. You have to catch it and go up.
That's the only way you can save that slow plie.
Yeah. It's truly amazing. This passage is not easy at all.
It's so hard. And minimal arms as well.
At the end of the variation too.
A lot of the times in the Entrelacies, like even Albrecht, sometimes he'll use the arms to help him a little bit, which, believe it or not, a small movement helps a lot. It helps with your balance. It helps you kind of orient yourself, and it kind of helps get your momentum going. Keeping the arms down, and we kind of like talked about this in our Bournonville Cicchetti challenge. I mean, you don't have to think about where your arms are going to be, but like it's really different keeping the arms down and not being able to really help you in that sense. So good.
So killer.
And
boom.
Really, really, really good.
Incredible.
So hard.
This is killer. And for those of you that were out there being like, oh my god, what does Petapa have against women? He always gives the women such hard choreography.
No.
Don't worry. Petapa was just mean to everybody.
Petapa was mean to everybody.
Killer stuff. At the end of the variation, you're already dying.
A lot of dancers have given this piece a 10 out of 10 on the difficulty scale.
Yeah, and we've had a teacher who was like, this is the most awful piece.
Most horrible, most diabolical piece for the men.
It's one of those pieces where you just watch it and you're like, I'm glad I'm a girl. Maybe this is why we can speak about it with so much affection and joy, because I think if we were male dancers and we had to do this, we'd be like, it's not a great
It's a horrible piece. We hate this piece. We hate Petapa. We hate everything.
Everyone hit the like button.
Everybody hit the like button.
For our gentleman here.
Yes.
Because I cannot imagine dancing this piece, because it's just... The girls have a lot of hard stuff in ballet.
We do have
We don't have it easy. But when we look at pieces like this, we're like, I would take Giselle's Hops on Point over this.
See, yeah, exactly.
So, there you go, everybody. That was the Dance of the Four Garçons from Raymonda. Hopefully, you have been sufficiently wowed by our gentlemen today. If we have any male dancers among us that have danced this piece before and would love to lend your insights / traumatic stories from learning this piece,
please let us know in the comments. Trauma dump for us. This is a safe place. Hope you enjoy getting to watch and study this piece with us. And if you want to see more ballet nerding sessions with us, we have a whole playlist for you guys linked above and below. You can go see all the other fantastical commentaries that we have done on numerous other ballet pieces that are out there. And if you have any requests for other ballet commentaries on any other numbers that you would like to see, then make sure to comment below, because we are always taking requests.
A huge thank you to all of the patrons right here on the screen who have made this video possible today.
We love you.
Our patrons are a really huge part of why we are able to continue doing what we're doing and bringing hot, fresh ballet nerd content to your subscription box every single Saturday. As we have done so for the past 3 years.
Almost 3
and a bit.
We have been doing kind of like post-video hangouts with you guys.
Show.
Yeah, like the Ballet Rain After Show on Patreon. So if you're interested in being a part of the Ballet Rain After Show, then feel free to go and click the link in the description box or go to patreon.com/balletrain. It would be so happy to see you over there.
Anyways, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballet Rain signing off. Until the next video.
Bye!
That there was a whole other piece, because do you know that everyone says whole nother.
It bothers me because it bothers me because it's so incorrect.
Yeah,
I know it's
a whole nother whatever, and everyone says it.
Other.
Yeah, a whole other, or just another.
Another is not a word. It bothers me.
It's my pet peeve that I do myself. So I'm a hypocrite, but let me find it.
We'll show you.
For Garçons, or the Dance of the Four Page Boys. This page could not be found.
Eden.
Let me try again. We were actually talking earlier, it was kind of funny. We were talking earlier about how
everything in ballet comes in fours.
Like all the really specific characters in ballet all come in fours. You have the four signettes. You have
four suitors.
The four suitors from
the Rose Adagio.
We have the four garçons.
Yeah.
We have the four chickens from the Football Gardet. Speaking of fours, apparently koi fish always swim in fours.
Why? Because
if like they get like threatened or attacked, koi A, B, and C leave, and the last one's the decoy. You didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't. I thought that was legit.
You believe?
You were awful. What the heck? Wow.
Sorry, that was really bad.
I'll
leave.
Oh my god.
Look at the wall and think about my actions.
Wow.